Welcome, viewers. Please join us as we visit Pismo Beach and Oceano Dunes during the summer of 2022. The fee is just $10 per night, which we booked prior via the Reserve California website. There is a creek that runs in this area during rainy times, but it was dry during our visit. You have to drive out past the second marker, which ends up being about a mile or so before you can camp. When we arrived, it was a bit overcast and on the cooler side, but not cold. This was a Sunday afternoon, so a lot of campers had left already. Dang wasted no time getting the drone up. The tide was predicted to be high, so we camped further up the beach than some of the others. We had never camped here before, so this was a new experience for us. We didn't know exactly what to expect, but it more or less matched what we imagined. It was good to arrive on a Sunday afternoon when a lot of people had vacated and more space was available. We thought we were safe based on how high up the beach we had camped. It got misty and cool in the evening. Sitting by the fire and watching the sunset is so relaxing. I think many were not expecting the tide to get so high. The next morning, more people showed up. This trend continued over the week. Many show up in larger groups and throw a real party. This time-lapse gives you a perspective of how active the place really is, even on slow weekdays. As the tide continued to rise, I figured I should get busy trenching. I'm not entirely sure how effective it was, though. We saw a lot of this on the trip. What's this? This is how you take care of a flipped quad, I guess. The kids came and visited, and we rented them a toy. There are several vendors to choose from right on the beach, and they go for anywhere from $75 or so per hour on up, depending on the rig you select. There's a 15-mile-per-hour speed limit on the shoreline and roads. It can get pretty chaotic out there. It takes some getting used to if you have not driven an ATV before, but the kids figured it out quickly and had a blast. Even our truck got in on the action. Flags are required when driving on the dunes, so I got the cheapest one I could find. Most of the clouds had blown out this day, and it was nice but still cool. The difference between low tide and high tide was pretty pronounced. Here you can just start to see the cities of Oceano and Pismo Beach in the background. That night we decided to fire up the pizza oven. Earlier we had stopped at Trader Joe's to pick up some pizza dough and toppings. Elisa found a good spot to watch the sunset from. It stayed pretty clear that night. It is not recommended you drive in during high tide. The weather calmed and folks gathered around the campfires as dinner was prepared. The ATV stopped shortly after sunset, making the area peaceful. Sleeping with the waves crashing right outside your door is so refreshing. The next morning, it was still quite clear. The long, shallow slope to the beach makes for a wide wave pattern. One of the reasons we decided to come to Oceano Dunes is because the area is going to be closing soon. We wanted to get in here and experience this while we still could. Dang found a clam that had been injured, probably by a car driving over it. I attempted to relocate it, and hopefully it survived. This area was once famous for its clams. However, they apparently got overfished, and there is no longer any of legal size in the area. The signage as you enter tells you not to drive on wet sand to avoid damaging the clams, but that becomes pretty impractical as the tides rise. Hey, didn't this guy just pass us going the other way? They had the recreation area closed a mile or so south of our campsite. California least terns and western snowy plovers nest in this area during this time of year. Both species are endangered. The sunsets were very nice during our visit, and for this one, the marine layer stayed away. The moving vehicles looked like fireflies. Some were quite decked out. We hope you enjoyed joining us on this trip. If you liked this video, consider subscribing to our channel for more like this.